Hey everyone, Tofu here. Welcome back to SDRA2. It is trial day, so that's fun. I already went over truth bullets off screen, so I don't have to go through all that right now. I don't think we have any more skills to equip. Oh, we got a lot of points though now, so we can equip crosshair dash. Sure, I guess that's useful. Spoiler, highlights the words of opponent's argument during scrum debate. Oh, I don't have enough for that. I don't really need that, though. I mean, I did screw up the last scrum debate, I'm pretty sure, though, so... I mean, do I value that over the crosshair dash? Probably not. There's more non-stop debates than scrum debates, so I'd rather have that. Alright, I think that's it then. Obviously, spoilers abound if you haven't seen the last few episodes. We're gonna talk about who died, so... Just make sure you're good on that, and let's start the trial. I have no idea how this is going to go. Actually, I do. It was Doodle Bobby Roja. She did it. First, let me give a basic explanation of the class trial. The results of this class trial will be decided by your votes. If you choose the correct blackened, only they will receive punishment. But if you vote for the wrong person... What is Nike's death portrait? It's a bunch of backwards Fs, it looks like. That's probably something that I don't know the meaning of. Then everyone else besides the blackened will be punished, and the blackened who has fooled everyone will graduate from this school trip.
Honestly, I'm still not used to this new version of Monocro.
Shobai not participating, there's only 5 of us here. Right, he's not even here. Someone among us here has murdered Teruya. We need to find the culprit and clear this class trial. If we don't, there's no future waiting for us. If we put our heads together, we can do this, just like we've always done.
Now then, please start the discussion.
I mean, is there even any need to? We already know who the culprit is.
What? We do?
Mikado Shinoji, you're the only possible suspect in this case.
Oh, getting right to the chase, are we? Well, I've been basically called the killer every trial so far, so this doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Teruya's portrait. I can only see half of it. Oh, is it Mikado's face? He's got little hearts on it too. What the hell is that about? It's like taunting him.
But to suspect me without any real evidence? I thought we've already learned time and time again that we need to discuss things thoroughly before pointing fingers.
Too bad, because I got evidence this time. While the murder was happening, everyone except you and Shobai were together, you see? That's right, hence the only suspects were Shobai and you, Mikado. But according to you, Shobai's not participating in this trial.
So does everyone except me have alibis? But if we follow that logic, Sora's a possible suspect as well, no?
Wait, what? Are you trying to make fun of us? We just told you that Sora was with us the whole time.
But was she really with you the whole time?
What?
Sure, I wasn't there when you found the body, and I only arrived at the crime scene long after the body discovery announcement, that I admit. But every one of you were split apart until you saw that video and decided to head to the broadcasting room.
What? How did you know about that video?
Sora, Yoruko, and Yuki, who were all in Sora's room, had each split up. And while they were alone, the mysterious video was broadcasted on every monitor in Higa City. After witnessing such horror, you each guessed the room in the video to be the West Broadcasting Room and headed there. In other words, the time you were together was only after you gathered at the Twin Towers.
How do you know about all those details?
I heard it directly from Sora. Isn't that right, dear?
I mean, am I just misremembering how long it was between the time they left and when the video actually happened? I don't think it was that long. I mean, maybe it was longer in-universe, but, like, for us, it happened, like, immediately after. I'm like, they had no time. I'm surprised Yoruko even had time to get her keycard in that time. But it's like... If Sora left the building, I feel like Yoruko and Yuki would have seen her leave. Like, she would have had to be right behind them. It just doesn't seem plausible to me, but I guess they're implying that the time was a bit longer than what it actually seemed like.
While I was unfortunate enough to not arrive at the crime scene on time to learn about the case, I thought to myself, don't I have the right to at least know what had happened?
So you say you didn't know?
The nerve of telling such lies. You're the culprit and we all know it. I won't be so sure of that, Yoruko. More importantly, I have concrete evidence for why I'm suspecting Sora. Would you care for a duel, Fufu?
Oh, shit. We're starting with one of these? Well, at least get it out of the way, though that probably means there's gonna be another one later. Great.
Let me preface this by saying I'm not doing this out of spite, Sora. By all means, I would have loved to take everything cautiously step by step to find the culprit. But when Yoruko starts off the trial by suspecting me of all people, I've got no choice but to rebuttal, wouldn't you agree? But can you even fight against my rebuttal, I wonder? Foo-foo.
Shut up. Yeah, I forget the buttons. Z to fire right. It's S. S to yes. No, shift to switch. S to equip. Got it. Okay. Alright, time to not read what anything he says because I physically cannot. Okay. I think they were sprayed with you. I didn't see their fucking bullets. It was being everyone was blah, blah. In other words, this is blah 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 blah. Everyone's alibi is empty. Okay, I'm gonna advance. I could shoot everybody's alibi is empty. What's the point of this? It was the culprit. Nobody has an alibi during the broadcast, like you said. How does it make me specifically the prime suspect? She's got a point. So I realize what I suspected you. You told me yourself, didn't you? Yuki went to the north and Yoruko to the east, and yet the west broadcaster was the place to show in the video. So those two didn't have enough time to be. Fuck! Oh my God! Move! Move! The fucking thing does not move, man. I'm telling you. I should have read what she said. What was the second thing he said? I didn't see that. Oh my God, everyone's alibi is empty. I think that's right. Like, he's not wrong. If the time frame is longer than what we thought it was, then that does kind of leave everyone open between the time, you know, before the video. If nobody has a better block, like you said, doesn't make the prime suspect. What does he say here? I need to look at this. Well, I suspected you. Yourself, you went to the north, you were going to the east. That's true. Didn't have enough time to, fuck, I can't read that in time. I have to fucking turn my head. To see me out expecting me so much as little. Instead, like, you need to consider the timing of things, and I'm sure I'll be able to refute him. Okay, I think it is the second thing then, because it starts with not enough time. Sorry, I have to go through this I'm gonna have to go through this fucking 4 times. Because I have to use this time to actually fucking just read what the thing is. Alright, come on. If the thing was just on screen for longer than a single second and not sideways, I would be able to understand this a lot faster. Okay, it's coming up. Yes, that's true. This one, didn't have enough time to perform the deed. Didn't have enough time to perform the deed. Oh, I'm fucking... Wait. I can't see the fucking bullets I have either. Oh my God. Connecting bridge? I think it might be the bridge because, like, we're under the assumption that the bridge was out. So she couldn't have had enough time. Yoruko would have seen her, too, if she went to the east. I'm gonna try... Wait, not that, not that, not that, not yet. Go! God damn it. Bitch, I don't know. Okay, so what I think it is Yoruko was at the east, right? And the body moved to the east. So would Yaruko fucking see Sora move the body? If that was true. I'll try that. Are you fucking serious? Okay, I have tried every bullet on that. That is not the right one. If it's something as simple as, like, just fucking shooting this. What the fuck, man? Why? Why mention the timing of everything and have the whole second section being all about the timing? What? What? I don't get that. What? His whole argument was built around the fact that everyone's alibi didn't matter. And that there was time before the video that they could have done something. Right? So then why would the alibi one disprove that? When that's not what he's talking about. Okay, please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. Oh, that was terrible. I hate rebuttals. So let me get this straight, Mikado. Immediately after Yuki and Yaruko left the West area, I headed straight to the broadcasting room to film the video? Precisely! I'll give credit where credit is due. Your logic is indeed sound. I did have the time and resources to broadcast that video. Sora, what are you saying? However, that also applies to you, doesn't it? Between the two of us, I'd say you're the one with the more suspicious alibi. What? That's her point? Her point is that Mikado could have done it too. Okay, sure. I think the whole point was to disprove yourself, Sora. Maybe there's more to this, because I don't agree with that line of logic for having to figure that out on my own with those sets of bullets in that fucking minigame of all things. You're trying to make it sound like our alibis don't matter and we're all suspects. Yes, which is why I'm so confused about why the alibi list was the fucking thing. Because it would make it obsolete. But at least us four can prove that we were in the locations we said we were in our own alibis. However, not a single person even saw or knew where you were during the incident. From our perspective, Mikado, you have zero concrete info about your alibi. To use your own words, aren't you in the perfect condition to commit the crime? Oh, sorry for crashing out. But like, oh my god. I feel like the sprinklers would have proved that a lot better, because we were all together during that incident. I don't know. I don't understand this. Sora's right. Both Yaruko and I can prove we were in the east and south areas respectively through our keycard histories. Iroha proved her alibi by meeting up with Yaruko.
That's right. I was running towards the west area after watching the broadcast when I met Yaruko.
Yeah, that much I'm sure of. Can you prove you were in some other place when the video was being broadcasted? More importantly, even the people in the south and east areas managed to arrive at the crime scene on time. And yet you arrived way after the announcement was made. What made you so busy, I wonder? As you've established, our alibis are not concrete. I might have easily committed this murder, as I was readily in the west area. But if we go by that logic, whose alibi is non-existent, are pretty suspicious as well. Actually, I'd say you'd be in the best position to murder than any of us. You're most absolutely right. Then let's not forget about this crucial information. What? Are you for real now? You went all in saying that Sora's the culprit and you think you can get out scot-free? I mean, didn't I say from the start? I wanted to find the culprit step by step, from one clue to another. But I had no choice but to present my rebuttal when you accused me of murder out of nowhere. What do you mean out of nowhere? I said that because you are the culprit. Yaruko. Huh? What's up, Sora? Let's stop that train of thought for now.
I'm not trying to cover for Mikado, but there are other discussions that need to be held right now. I also do think that Mikado is suspicious, but there is no need to rush things. We can point fingers after we discuss everything thoroughly, right? I guess you're right. Sorry, Sora.
Wait, I basically said the same thing! Well, listen to her, but not me!
Hey, Mikado? Would you mind just shutting up and stop pretending that you're helping? You didn't even participate in the other class trial discussions.
That's not true. He did prove Iroha innocent in Chapter 3.
Though he was probably covering for her. I mean, she wasn't guilty to begin with then, but...
You know, he's done some things.
Trying to be active in this trial only makes you all the more suspicious, you know?
Wait, no, you've got it all wrong. I've always tried my best in trials. It's just that every time I spoke, I was rudely ignored by everyone.
Whatever. How about we start talking about the case more in depth?
About the case, then where should we start?
Let's hold the question of who's the culprit for now, and try to reimagine how the case went down step by step.
So, the summarization of the case, I see. I'll do my best to cooperate.
How the hell are you going to help at all? You weren't even there when it all happened.
But I at least heard the basics of what happened from Sora.
Yuruko, we can all agree that Mikado is unbearable, but for this case only, how about we give him a chance to talk? Above all, we only have 5 participants for this trial. With that low of a number, every word spoken from every person here should count. Well, if you say so, then alright.
So it is agreed that I can speak freely then? Well then. First and foremost, I think we can all agree that this case started with that broadcast.
He's right. The video of a mysterious someone approaching the fainted Teruya with a knife in the West broadcasting realm. Let's talk about that video, which started it all.
Finally, a good thing. I probably should have done the explanation, just so I could get it out of the way. Because it's just gonna keep popping up. Projector film, broken window, Yuruka's account, monochrome file, and the cameras. Let's see. The video was broadcasted around 7 p.m. And as previously established, none of us have alibis during this time period.
Sora was in the west area, Yuki in the east, and Yuruko and I were in the east, right?
Oh, I was in the north area, in case you were curious. That seems important.
Immediately after watching that video, everyone except Mikado headed straight to the top floor, blah, 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 but the door was locked, and so none of us were able to enter.
That is true.
We eventually broke the door down and entered the room. After the sprinkler incident, Teruya was nowhere else to be seen. Yeah, and we entered the east broadcasting room to search for him. We found the door locked. Teruya was in there being stabbed to death.
I don't think so. Wait. What did he say? Did he say Teruya was being stabbed to death, but it's like his corpse moved? That's literally a contradiction within and of itself. Okay. I think we do... Oh, maybe Yuruka's account. Because she thought it was cyanide. That might be what I need, actually. Let me see what he says. Teruya's in there being stabbed to death. Could be either this. Yes, it's that. Okay. Yippee! Thank you. It feels good to get that score after the shit show that was that rebuttal.
Hold on, Yuki. Teruya wasn't stabbed to death.
Huh? But there was a stab wound on his chest.
The monochrome file didn't describe any other injuries, and I checked it out myself. Of course there were no other injuries. That's because he died by poisoning.
What?
The tip of Teruya's fingers and toes had turned blue. There were also pinkish spots near his thighs and back. These are telltale signs of poisoning. To be precise, cyanide poisoning at that.
Oh my. Fuck. You know what I just remembered? I did not go back and look at the first game's Chapter 5 to see what went down in that. Because I completely forget. I was going to go back and skim that just to refresh myself. I didn't do that. Whoopsie. Well, if I don't record this whole trial in one sitting today, then I will go back and look. But it is also very possible that I get so invested that I do just record this entire trial in one sitting. So, we'll see. So if that happens, then I'm sorry if I don't notice any parallels to the first game. I stupid and for guard.
Oh my.
You could tell that just from those marks? That's amazing, Sora. It wasn't me, it was Yuruka. Look at her little smile on her face as she said that. She's so proud of her. I don't know it that well myself. It's not like I actually studied medicine. I just heard it from some crazy drunk doctor that wandered into our joint once.
I have my fair share of medical knowledge, and I agree to your observations. Cyanide is a chemical suffocant, so to speak. It's a poison that prevents any living being from breathing properly. From the cyanosis to the pink spots, they're all signs of oxygen depletion. Wonderful work, Yuruko.
Coming from you, even a compliment sounds disgusting.
Wait, if Chiruya was poisoned to death, what? Then how come that video showed someone holding a knife? Or was that something else?
Well, as I said before, there were knife wounds on his chest. Perhaps the culprit poisoned Chiruya, then created a stab wound on the dead corpse. If Shobai was here, we would have been able to determine if that knife wound was made before or after Chiruya was killed.
Now, before we get into that, there is a whole other riddle that needs to be solved.
Alright, what's your riddle?
Poisoning is quite inconspicuous method of murder. Yet the killer announced their crimes knowingly using the broadcasting room. When you think about why you would choose to poison someone to get rid of them, the killer's little talent show becomes a bit contradictory, wouldn't you agree?
Huh, you've got a point. It was as if they were saying, come and stop me if you can. Okay, here's my theory. Maybe it was the culprit's intention all along to gather us at the West Broadcasting Room.
What do you mean?
Recall that the West Broadcasting Room was locked from the inside. But what if the killer wanted to emphasize specifically that face to everyone by having a broadcast be sent to the whole island? And if we think about it that way, holding a knife leaves a much stronger impact than just holding some poison, right? Then what would be the point of creating a locked room and telling everyone about it? When we broke down the lock and entered the broadcasting room, we didn't see anyone inside, right?
What? But that doesn't make sense. How could there be a locked room if there was nobody inside?
Then that means...
It seems that the culprit laid out this incredible locked room mystery for us to solve. They say every good mystery fiction almost always features one. Even Emma used it back then, remember? The broadcast wasn't the main show. It was just a small teaser to lure everyone to the crime scene. Before we talk about who did it, it seems like we need to solve this locked room mystery.
A locked room mystery. A room that can only be locked from the inside. And only the dead victim was inside when we unlocked it. The mysterious person inside the video had somehow vanished from the locked West Broadcasting Room. And now we have to put our heads together to figure out how that happened. Okay, sure. Give me the explanation just so I can get it out of the way. Okay. What do we got this time? Cameras, file sprinklers, burnt paper, door lock. Probably the lock for the cameras. We gathered in front of the West Broadcasting Room's entrance. Was the culprit already not inside the broadcasting room? Not inside the broadcasting room. That seems to be the case. But there was barely any time for that. How did they lock the room and escape during that short a time period?
Oh, I know.
What is it, Iroha? What we saw was live foot. Okay, well that's obviously it. Oh shit, I missed it. No, I don't think so. That was definitely live footage. When the video was being broadcasted, someone was definitely inside the broadcasting room. It doesn't that just leave us with Mikado as the only suspect?
Me? That's outrageous. Didn't I just say that when the video was being broadcasted, everyone was acting alone?
Okay. I mean, I do... Iroha's thing is definitely wrong. But it does kind of feel too obvious. Like, Yuruko herself immediately disproves this. So it's kind of funny that we'd have to do this as well, but... Whatever, that just means it's easy. Alright. No, Iroha, that video has to be live. During our investigation, we've confirmed that the broadcasting room can only transmit live footage.
Is that so?
It's not really a surveillance camera, you see. If it has a database, it would actually be able to record and store videos, but unfortunately our broadcasting room lacks any of it.
That means when that video was being broadcasted, at that moment, someone was in the West broadcasting room. What is it, Aroha? You've been staring at me for quite a while now.
Eek.
Is there something you have to say?
No. It's just that I made a doodle bob version of myself with a magic pencil, and that's the killer. I'm sorry.
Tisk, if there's something you want to say, then you should feel free to say it, Aroha. This is a class trial, after all. We can only proceed if we each share our thoughts.
Well, the thing is, when you first arrived on the top floor of the West Twin Tower, there wasn't anyone there, right?
Yeah, there wasn't anyone there when I arrived. But what about that?
Then couldn't you have, locked and left the room, then pretended you just arrived there?
What? Try and say that again, Aroha. Oh my god, she's pissed.
No, I'm not trying to accuse her. I just, thought it might be possible.
So you're basically trying to say Sora's the culprit.
No, I didn't say that.
What do you mean you didn't? The person in the video was Sora. That's what you're trying to say, aren't you?
Now that was a surprising remark, considering it came from Aroha of all people. As I said before, I completely agree with Aroha. You said you were all together after you gathered at the top floor of the West Building. That means it's entirely possible for Sora to do the deed, create the locked room mystery, and then regroup with everyone. Let's not forget that Sora was also conveniently in the West area when the crime happened.
So you're gonna fight in pairs, huh? Well, bring it on then. I, for one, regrouped with everyone. We don't know a thing about what you did or where you were during the murder. Do you think you have the right to suspect me?
Might I remind you, as I was in the North area, I didn't have enough time to do anything.
And how are you going to prove that? Yuki and Yoruko's alibis can be proven with the keycard histories. Iroha was seen by Yoruko. Even if you say you were in the North area, it means nothing if you have no witness to prove it.
Well, that I have nothing to say. How unfortunate it is that there's nothing that can prove my alibi, isn't it? Foo-foo.
Mikado, you've been trying to pin the murder on Sora ever since the trial started. Don't you think this is very unlike you? Never once did you suspect a specific individual. Are you perhaps panicking? Is it like, are we doing a Trigger Happy Havoc Chapter 5 thing? They're just trying to pin it on somebody?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Yuki.
What?
You're the ones who are acting like yourselves. Answer me, what happened in between these two trials that made you believe Sora is a saint who's never lied once in her life? The last 4 trials were all carried on through logical deduction and through discussions without personal feelings, that is. I won't say that I'm not a suspect, but there is no real proof that Sora is innocent as well. Have you all forgotten? Once you rely on personal feelings, they will only eventually cloud your judgment, preventing us from finding the real culprit. All I want to say is that anyone can be a culprit. I know how much you all hate me, but I would much prefer if you didn't look on me with jaundiced eyes.
But Sora would never... Iruko, calm down. As much as I hate to admit it, he's right that my alibi isn't perfect. Sora? It's alright. The truth will eventually reveal itself. Isn't that right, Mikado?
Foo-foo, of course. I apologize for derailing our discussion with my short pep talk. Let us continue our talk about the locked room mystery.
Okay. So Aroha just suspected Sora of locking the broadcasting room herself, pretending she just arrived there. But that isn't as easy as it sounds.
Nuh-uh. The door to my room locks itself up when I activate the lock and then close the door. One time I lost the key to a door to one of my rooms, and I couldn't get in that room for, forever.
What is she even talking about? I guess it's Aroha we're talking about here. Sure, you can create a locked room by activating a lock from inside and then closing the door from the outside. But that wasn't possible with the broadcasting room because of the lock. It can only be locked from the inside. Yes. Iroha, the broadcasting door is probably different from the ones you're thinking of. It's not a button-based lock mechanism, but a lever-based one. One that is locked upon holding the door down with a lever. In other words, you can only lock the door only after completely shutting the door.
I see. So if we were to try what Iroha suggested by locking the door and then shutting it, you wouldn't be able to shut it in the first place.
Correct. Hence why it becomes a contradiction where there was nobody in the broadcasting room when it was locked.
Forget the alibis. Just solving how the culprit even managed such a feat is an issue right now.
This hurts my brain.
The fact of the matter is, the door was indeed locked with nobody inside the room, right? This is proving to be quite a riddle that the culprit has posed. What method did the culprit actually use to achieve this? Okay, another debate. Is this where the window comes in? Because it's gotta be used for something. Or the cloth. Maybe they hid themselves under the cloth for somehow? It's either that or the window, I think. How did the culprit create the locked room? When they used the door, they used a special tool outside. So there are a lot of props in the storage room to assist on such an act. Oh my god, what's this format? Perhaps there was another exit we didn't know about. What do you mean? So much the window being broken, remember? Uh-huh.
They broke the window and escaped.
I don't think that's right.
They did lock the door from the inside, but they just escaped from the locked room to the window.
They just fall to death? Did you forget how high up the Twin Towers actually were? Again, it's like, Iroha's is the obvious wrong thing here. And it's literally, like, pointed out in the debate itself, so I feel silly shooting that again. But that's, like, the best thing to shoot. Yeah, like, this has to be intentional. I feel like this has to be an intentional thing of, like, pointing out, oh, it's Iroha, she's stupid. But something's up. Something's up. I'm gonna save.